So recently a friend asked me on what are the different types of spiritual masters. To me, there are actually 3 to 4 main different types. So the first type of spiritual masters are the regular feng shui masters, 八字 readers, numerologists that you know outside. These people, they do not have supernatural powers themselves, but what they do is that they go for a program, they learn how to read the 八字 charts, the 8 trigram, numerology and things like that. So this ability to read for other people is something that they acquire in the later part of their lives. Yeah, so they don't have these supernatural abilities, but they learn it through a formularized way. The pros about this method, everyone can kind of reach that level because you're learning from a textbook, you're learning from a formula. The cons of this approach is that oftentimes such a form of reading is pretty general and it's not personalized, because everyone has many different nuances. So even just based on the date of birth, the time of birth, the numbers, so on and so forth, there are many more detailed nuances about the person that might not be able to be captured. For example, what will happen to him or her in this particular month, the exact type of people that they can face. So just one example. In the second type of masters, they are basically what I call mediums. Mediums are split into 2 types. So typically, spiritual masters who are mediums, they have some form of supernatural abilities, right? So they can just do reading, for example, just by looking at you, or through the text, or through a phone call, and things feels very scarily accurate, right? Or some people call them psychics. So such a group of people, there are 2 categories. First are the kind of medium where they are just a normal human being, but they act as a vessel to a higher being. For this group of people, a very common example you see are in like Taoist temples. You go over there, there are some people who are mediums. So before the ceremony begins, they're just a normal person. They speak normally, they act normally, they have no abilities at all. And during the ceremony itself, suddenly a god takes possession of them. They go into a trance, and then they start to be able to do all the different kinds of reading, and have all these like special healing powers, or ability to read for people and things like that. This is temporary. Then the other type of mediums are basically people who are possessed long-term by the gods. That means even on a day-to-day basis, without the formal ceremony, the god is inside of them. So that's why they have these spiritual powers. So the pros about this thing is that, of course, such spiritual practitioners, of course, if you find the legitimate ones, right, their abilities are very accurate, and they really do have the powers. But the cons for such spiritual practitioners themselves, it is a trade-off. So why would the higher being actually take possession of you and give you these supernatural abilities so that you can help people or make money? There's always a reason. And to these high beings, it's an exchange. I come into you, so to people, you are like a master, you can earn money through your services, so on and so forth. But in exchange, I'm actually taking energy from you. If you observe closely, when you go to, for example, the Taoist temples, after the medium gets possessed, they will often feel very tired. Yes, during the session, they can have all these powers, but the higher being is so, whichever god, right, the Taoist god, so on and so forth, they're actually taking energy from this person. That's why they are left depleted. Sometimes, in such cases, what we see is that these people have like shorter lifespan, or in the later part of their life, maybe things are not so smooth for them. Like their finances go down, or their health deteriorates, things like that. In whichever case, whether is it like the temporary possession, or like a long-term possession, after the god has taken whatever amount of energy they need from you, then that's where they leave. The bad thing is that, so let's say I'm the god. I come into you to give you the powers in exchange for your energy. But once I've taken enough energy from you, that's it, I'm going to leave. So once I leave, you become a normal human again. But with all the problems. You don't have the supernatural abilities anymore, you cannot help people anymore, you cannot make a living from this anymore. But yet, you have all these issues whereby maybe your health deteriorates, your lifespan is shortened, so on and so forth. So that is the trade-off. And in more severe cases, sometimes the god, the higher being, cannot take enough energy from you, one person. So what they do is that they will go on to possess someone else in your family to continue carrying out the mission. So we often see cases of like, oh, my father was a medium last time, so now it's my turn. And then it's going to be my children's turn. And then the same issue could repeat down the bloodline. There are also the third kind, which might be a bit more rare, are cases like my spiritual master, Master Lu Xia. So for Master Lu Xia, some people ask, how is she able to do her reading? Does she read based on 八字, or is she like also possessed by some higher being like Buddha or something? No. So what Master Lu does is that she's able to see energies and utilize energy, right? So everything is very scientific. So everything that there could ever be is in the universe, right? From you and me to the phone to whatever. It is all contained inside the universe. So even your gods, your Buddha, your Jesus is also inside the universe. If you check out physics, everything is energy. So even Buddha, your phone, me and you, the N, they're all energy forms. Within energy contains certain information. Think of it as like a computer. It's like a database with all the different data. Likewise, the universe is like this. The universe is like an infinite database. every single information that there possibly is out there is inside it. So Master Lu Xia, my spiritual teacher, is just someone who's able to extract the particular information that she wants from the universe. Of course, that also includes you. You are also a part of the universe. Yeah, so you are also like an information database. So she's able to take the information that she needs from you and give you the reading. Yeah, it's just like how you want to find answers, you go to Google. Where do I get the best coffee in Singapore, for example? She's also able to utilize and move energy. For example, inside all of us, we are energy, right? Energy that's positive and negative. So if we have too much negative energy, then that's why we have problems in life. Our luck is down, we attract a lot of bad things to us, our health is low, so on and so forth, we have mental health issues. For example, when I talk about utilizing energy, she's able to remove this negative energy from people and maybe put in more positive energy to them to change their energy balance and so change their life outcomes. Okay, so that is something that my spiritual teacher does. Since the moment she was born into this world, she already had these abilities inside of her. She didn't learn from someone else, unlike the 八字 or numerology's way. She doesn't have like another high being taking possession of them. The ability is innate within her. Since she's born, she's able to connect to the universe and do all these different things. But the most interesting part is that she's also able to impart this ability in other people. Not only does she help you establish a connection, but she also helps you establish a connection to the universe so that you can always receive universe energy to replenish you. It's like you use the phone. You use the phone to search for the information on Google. Yeah. So each time, the more you use the phone, the more battery life you use up. But if you can have a way to charge your phone and replenish the power source, then you can continuously search for information on Google in a sustainable way. So for those friends who are curious about what are the different types of spiritual practitioners, spiritual masters, specifically what Master Lu Xia does and how is she different, this is my answer to this particular question.